on the imported palms, and we laughed out loud at all of the bullshit. I'm dying on promises, dear, in Hollywood sun. Boom, bow, two by two, Miss Jenny Jenkins. You know I wouldn't change things, even if I made it. So we take our time and skip around. So my love is ordered. My love is ordered. Chase it down while I'm here. La 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 la. Miss Jenny Jenkins, you know I wouldn't change things, even if I made it.
For those of you still with us, we have more music from Mount Joy.
This is Dirty Love.
I know you think I think too much, but I don't know. Is it love, dirty love? All I want are your eyes, all mine, and underneath of it all, I dream of 5, 6 shooters, hallelujah, unable to save us. But did I want love, or did I ask too much? Young dirty love, come and get us drunk, let's cover up what we really want. And all you see and all you feel are skin and bones. They don't hold the soul like real love. No, you can't control. You really are what you really want. So I met you in the hotel, team little lobby. I've been on the road since you last saw me, and I don't need a reason to bleed until we're even. But did I want love, or did I ask too much?
He'll have you at Aloha. Magnum PI. New CBS Mondays this fall.
Get hungry. Then get to the table. At Longhorn, you already know what you've got to have. Now the only thing left to do is have it. Tonight, come get your Longhorn favorites. The Outlaw Ribeye, the Parmesan crusted chicken, the Longhorn salmon. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Get great deals going on now during Menards Priced Right sale. Concrete mix is great for setting patios, walkways, or posts. Just add water, mix, and pour. Right now, pick up 4 60-pound bags of concrete mix for only $9. Enjoy the summer weather with shelters and canopies from Shelter Logic. This all-purpose canopy is perfect for outdoor parties and more. It's just $79.99 during Menards Priced Right sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Get ready for the party. Fiesta Mexicana is 3 days away.
You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Well, good morning and welcome into 13 News. I'm Erica Hall. Well, it's been hot the past few days. Let's find out if we have any relief on the way from Peyton Sanders in the Weather Center. Hello, Peyton.
Hi, Erica. That's right. More heat on the way this weekend. We do have some good news, though. The humidity is going to be lower for both today and tomorrow. So it's still going to be hot for Saturday and Sunday, but with that lower humidity, you'll begin to notice it. Not going to be feeling quite as hot. We won't have triple-digit heat index values for the weekend. Outside right now, our Menninger Hill Skycam looking south along Wanamaker in West Topeka, 73 degrees. It's still a bit on the muggy side if you're going to be out this morning. That dew point 69, but it'll begin to get lower as we move on into the afternoon. East winds right now at 8 miles per hour. Hiawatha, the cool spot this morning, 68 degrees the current temperature. The warm spot Manhattan checking in at 74. We have 71 degrees right now in Emporia. Winds light out of the east and southeast, and they'll stay light all weekend long. No concern for any gusty winds. The winds this afternoon will stay under 15 miles per hour, and also no rain chance. There are some parts of northeast Kansas that could definitely use some more moisture, but throughout the weekend, no rain. So if you have any outdoor plans, it's good news. We don't expect any trouble with any sort of thunderstorms in the area. Your forecast today, lots of sunshine, 81 degrees by 10 o'clock, and high temperatures this afternoon. We'll top out in the upper 80s, lower 90s with plenty of sunshine. We'll see if we have any rain chance in the forecast in the coming days and when we might see a return to some more humidity on the way. Your forecast is coming up.
All right, thanks, Peyton. An improperly discarded smoking material is to blame for a Topeka house fire. Just after 9:30 last night, Topeka fire officials responded to a structure fire at 220 Southwest Sandman Drive. Upon their arrival, crews reported flames visible in the rear of the home. It was quickly extinguished and contained to one section of the house. No occupants were inside at the time. However, the American Red Cross assisted one adult and two children. No injuries were associated with the fire. The estimated structural damage amounts to $2,000. The extra water you see on Topeka streets isn't because of any sudden rain showers. A steady stream of water main breaks is keeping the City of Topeka's water department busy this summer. They'll often see several breaks in a single day. 13's Grant Stevens has a look at why we're running nearly double the number from last year.
Crews worked for hours Friday on 3 water main breaks, including this one on 28th Terrace in Southwest Mulvane, and another at 21st and Topeka. According to Braxton Copley with the City of Topeka, the reason they are so bad this year goes back to last season's weather.
That's attributable to the drought that we had last fall. We were below moisture for 4 months, and then that drought has carried over into this year.
Coupled with the unusually hot temperatures we've seen over the last several months, it's led to an increase in water usage.
We have more water that we're pushing out into the system because people are consuming more.
That causes stress on the system.
Our system is working harder to keep up with the demands, and when you couple that with the fact that in this dry, hot weather, the soil is actually drying and cracking, and you're getting some movement in that soil.
When that soil moves and shifts, it puts pressure on the aging water pipes beneath, causing cracks.
And if you have a 110 or 115-year-old cast iron water line, it doesn't take much shifting of that soil movement to cause a break.
If you have a break in your area, Copley says the city will try to keep water flow to your home or business, although it might be reduced pressure-wise. Most importantly, he asked Topeka be patient with repair crews. They're working around the clock to fix increasing number of damaged water lines. Police in Hays, Kansas stepped up to help rescue people from rising floodwaters on Friday. This video was posted on the Hays Police Department's Facebook page. The water was nearly waist deep and prompting first responders to pick up small children and carry them out of danger. Kids weren't the only concern. The family's pets were also saved thanks to animal control. No injuries have been reported due to flooding. About 5 inches of rain fell in Hays. To our west, millions of people are dealing with the dangers of extreme heat and rapidly spreading wildfires. Nearly 40 large fires are burning in 11 western states. One person died in a fire on Friday near the California-Oregon border. And as Carter Evans shows us, in parts of Northern California, Colorado, and Utah, residents have been ordered to evacuate.
Southern California is baking like it's never baked before.
It's literally unbearable. You cannot be outside when it's that hot.
Records are falling as temperatures soar well into the triple digits, up 25 degrees above normal. The National Weather Service has issued warnings for dangerous and extreme heat and critical fire danger. Firefighters remain on edge as reports came in throughout the day of pop-up fires fanned by hot, dry winds, including this one near San Diego. At least one large home was destroyed. Several other structures have burned, and conditions are only expected to worsen. In Northern California, near the Oregon border, officials say a fast-moving wildfire there has now claimed a life, but they offered no other details. At least a dozen homes have been destroyed. The dry, erratic winds have plagued the West for weeks. Now it's the oppressive heat, which caused thousands to flock to one of the only places they could find refuge, the beach.
It was supposed to be in the mid-90s here at the beach as well today, but fortunately that did not happen. The sea breeze is keeping things relatively cool here. For everyone else, the heat wave is expected to continue through Saturday. Carter Evans, CBS News, Manhattan Beach, California.
Authorities say damage to multiple businesses in downtown Atchison is due to some type of incendiary device. Investigators responded to an alarm around 2:30 a.m. on Friday to the 100 block of North 8th Street. They found structural damage and broken windows throughout the downtown business block. Fire Chief Ted Graff says no one was injured. He says the scene was deemed safe enough to allow business owners back into their damaged stores. The Kansas State Fire Marshal's office said ATF and ATF have joined in a criminal investigation. Kansas lawmakers say they are satisfied with their visit to the Villages, the facility housing children separated from their parents at the border on Thursday. But new reports of an employee at the facility are raising concerns. Human Resources Officer Jeff Montag was granted diversion in 2007 on a misdemeanor charge of solicitation of sodomy. 13's Juan Cisneros has reaction on both topics.
Governor Jeff Collier said he hopes the Villages will choose to do the right thing for the vulnerable children they serve and separate him from his position. Executive Director of the Villages, Sylvia Crawford, said a former employee had also raised questions about Montag a year ago. She said at the time both DCF and the Inspector General's office completed an investigation with no corrective action required. A statement from DCF said Executive Director Gina Meyer Hummel was unaware of Montag's employment at the facility and is actively looking into the concerns brought to her attention. The report of Montag's employment at the facility come a day after lawmakers, including the governor, took a tour to ensure the children were in good care.
The facility director did ask if we'd like to see the kids, and so that's not a zoo setting. I don't want to go watch kids and look at them and why they stand there. So I declined to do that, and everybody else agreed. So we could see them out in the field playing soccer, and we were inside the living quarters, and so that was good enough.
House Minority Leader Representative Jim Ward said he prefers children be with their parents or their family. If that is not possible, the Villages can provide services needed.
A placement like the Village is a good option, only after those have been exhausted. And from what I saw, I think the Village can provide those services. We still have questions, though. We're not done asking questions to make sure that this is one of those things you got to continue to monitor.
Ward also said he was reassured that the children were receiving legal representation by the law firm contracted with the Office of Refugee Resettlement.
You'll hear from major candidates for governor next week on WIBW. We are partnering with our sister station KWCH in Wichita and KMUW Public Radio for forums featuring candidates from each party. At 6:15 Tuesday, hear from Republicans Jim Barnett, Jeff Collier, Chris Kobach, Patrick P.K. Kuchar, and Ken Selzer. Wednesday evening, it's Democrats Arden Anderson, Jack Burleson, Carl Brewer, Laura Kelly, and Joshua Svalti. Each discussion lasts 45 minutes. The primary elections are August 7th. Coming up, we look into the health effects of smoking marijuana, and we've got a check on the week's top health stories after the break. Stay tuned.
You're watching 13 News This Morning, Saturday edition with Erica Hall. 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Now, let's check in with Marcia at Diamonds by Design.
What are you thinking about?
Actually, I'm thinking about a facelift.
You don't need a facelift.
Not me, the store.
Oh, that's a good idea.
This looks amazing. I love it.
Wow, did you do something different?
Diamonds by Design.
345,000 Kansans care for a parent, spouse, friend, or other loved one, helping them live independently at home. Now, a new law called the Kansas Lake Caregiver Act supports these family caregivers when they enter the hospital and transition home. Loved ones can now designate a caregiver to be notified when they're discharged from the hospital, and hospitals must provide instructions of the aftercare tasks caregivers will perform at home. To learn more, visit WIBW.com/caregiver, sponsored by AARP Kansas.
Continental Siding Supply is 36 years old. Hey folks, Jerry O'Neill. For 36 years, we've been a family-owned business. Yes, we've grown to multiple locations. We own our own manufacturing plant. We own the patent to our Perma-Straight wall system. But our roots are strong because of you. To celebrate our birthday, I want to save your family 36% on seamless polymer siding and stock colors only. Call now.
When it comes to TV, you can either get reliable service with Cox, rain or shine, or play the weather wheel of misfortune with DirecTV. Maybe the signal will be affected, maybe it won't. Let's spin that wheel and see what happens with DirecTV if there are rain or storms today. Oh, too bad. It looks like this time DirecTV Satellite is more like sad-alite. With Cox, you get the reliable entertainment you want when you want it.
Take the Cox Challenge. Get a better bundle with Contour TV, up to 100 megs internet and phone, just $89.99 a month, now with easy access to Netflix.
Registration is now open for the 2018 Sunflower State Games. The games take place July 13th through the 29th. Raise your game and go to sunflowergames.com to register.
You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
The health effects of smoking marijuana and advice for doctors treating opioid addiction. Kenneth Craig has some of the week's top health stories.
Efforts to combat opioid addiction need to do more to take gender into account. That's according to doctors at Yale, who point out many substance abuse interventions are developed around men, even though women have a greater sensitivity to pain and are more likely to begin misusing opioids through medical treatments. A review of 22 studies finds regular marijuana use is associated with an increased risk for respiratory issues such as wheezing and coughing. The researchers define regular use as at least once per week for a year. And even low levels of air pollution can contribute significantly to diabetes risk. Researchers in St. Louis found even pollution levels considered safe reduced insulin production and triggered inflammation. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Now let's send it over to Peyton for a quick look at the forecast.
Good morning, everyone. Going to be another hot weekend on the way with temperatures in the low 90s. The difference to today's forecast in the past several days, lower humidity on the way. It's going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable out there this afternoon, but overall still another hot day. Our Emporia ValueNet Fiber Skycam this morning shows comfortable conditions, a bit on the muggy side, 71 degrees, that dew point 68. So it is a touch humid this morning if you're going to be outside. 69 degrees right now in Hiawatha. We have 73 in Lawrence, 72 the current temperature in Burlington. As we move on through the rest of the day, here we go. More heat on the way. No thunderstorms in the forecast. We'll stay dry. Lots of blue sky heading into the afternoon. And everyone today will have high temperatures topping out in the low to mid 90s. We'll see if we have any chance for rain into the upcoming week. Stay tuned. Your full 8-day forecast is coming up right after this.
There's no better place to buy carpet than Carpet One. Right now, we'll install any carpet free. That's free installation on any carpet, any color, any style, any brand. Plus, get measurement, estimate, and delivery free. Carpet 1 room, 3 rooms, a whole house, and get the whole installation package for free. You'll save hundreds of dollars. Get up to 40% off hardwood, laminate, tile, and vinyl floors too. Plus, take 3 years to pay with no interest. It's the free installation sale at Carpet One. We make it beautiful for less.
This month, let's celebrate America during the Renewal by Andersen Red, White, and View sale. Take $200 off every beautifully made for you window, plus 50% off our signature service installation.
And save each month with up to 70% more energy efficient windows.
That's $200 off each window, plus 50% off installation on the name you can trust in windows and doors. Now that's what I call a Red, White, and View sale.
The better way to a better window.
Call Renewal by Andersen today and save during the Red, White, and View sale.
It's held over. Nebraska Furniture Mart's huge holiday event. Saturday, get a free $10 coupon while they last. Plus, pay 55 cents on the dollar on all furniture, carpet, and area rugs. Plus, get an additional 11% off the tag price. Save up to $550 instantly on select NFM Plus appliance bundles. 10% off NFM Plus TVs and audio. Plus 30-month financing. One huge store. One huge celebration. One last chance for a huge savings. It's the final weekend at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
I'm Mark Geist, Marine veteran, fighter in the Battle of Benghazi. I know what it's like to sacrifice, just like my good friend Chris Kobach. The false attack ads against Chris Kobach are not just lies, they're despicable. Chris Kobach has always stood up for veterans. He shares our values, and I'm proud to support Chris Kobach for governor.
On August 7th, vote for the consistent conservative. Vote Chris Kobach for governor.
This is your 13 weather forecast with Peyton Sanders.
Glad to have you with us here on this Saturday morning. It's a bit warm and muggy starting out the weekend here across northeast Kansas. Heading into the afternoon, though, the humidity is going to come down. The temperatures will go up, though, so it's still going to be a hot day. We're up to 82 degrees by 11 o'clock this morning, and by this afternoon, highs will top out in the low 90s. The good news with that lower humidity, the heat index values will not be in the triple digits like they have been over the past several days. In fact, check out the combination of the heat and the humidity this afternoon. The heat index values only in the upper 80s to lower 90s. That's about 10 degrees cooler on the feels like numbers than what we had yesterday. So yeah, it's still going to be hot, but it's not the extreme heat like we've been dealing with for much of the past week. So a little bit of heat relief on the way today with some lower humidity across the area. Dry conditions expected too. We have lots of sunshine. Our downtown Skycam, our Parish Hotel's Ramada Hotel and Convention Center camera. Sunny skies right now in Topeka, 73 degrees. That dew point, that's the measure of the moisture in the air, still holding at 69. So anytime you're about 65 or 70 degrees, that's a muggy feel to the air, but those numbers will fall down into the lower 60s this afternoon, so a noticeable change on the way. You'll notice that lower humidity once we get into the afternoon hours. Everyone's checking in with 70s for temperatures on this Saturday morning. We have 75 degrees right now in Melbourne, 73 Abilene, 75 the current temperature in Clay Center. And again, as we move on through the rest of the day, temperatures will be making it into the lower 90s. We have to go several hundred miles away to find some of the rain that's closest to northeast Kansas this morning. You see some rain near the Gulf Coast states, around the Four Corners region, into southern sections of Nevada. We're going to be staying dry all weekend long. It's a weather pattern right now that is very typical of July. It features a big area of high pressure in the upper atmosphere, what we call a ring of fire weather pattern, because we have the clockwise winds circulating around this area of high pressure. That keeps the storms to our south, to our west, to our north. You get the idea. We're going to be continuing with dry conditions here across the Central Plains for much of the next several days, and more heat too. This is the weather pattern that's going to be sticking with us through the entire weekend and all of next week. This means more heat and no chance for rain in the forecast. Some places could definitely use it. Unfortunately, no chance for thunderstorms on the way anytime soon. And the humidity that we're looking at this weekend, again, going to stay on the lower end. That's thanks to easterly winds at the surface, pushing in some lower humidity here to the eastern parts of the state. Not going to be lasting very long, though. A change in the weather pattern. Once we hit the upcoming work week, those winds turn back out of the south. And that means, yes, unfortunately, the humidity, it's going to be climbing as we move on into next week with heat index values back near the century mark for most of next work week. But we'll enjoy lower humidity as we move on through the rest of the weekend. If you're heading out to Kansas City for the Royals game at 6:15 today, lots of sunshine, going to be pretty comfortable with temperatures in the mid and upper 80s. With that lower humidity, though, going to be feeling pretty nice. And high temperatures for everyone this afternoon, mostly in the 90s. A few spots might stay in the 80s for highs this afternoon with 89 in Oskaloosa. Same thing in Hiawatha. Top out around 90 in Topeka this afternoon with 95 in Manhattan. Tonight, you can probably give the air conditioner a break. It's going to be pretty cool with some spots dropping into the upper 50s overnight. A clear sky with light winds. And as we check out the 8-day forecast, again, no rain chances. The humidity stays low this weekend, but there we go. More heat on the way next week. Just in time for Fiesta Mexicana with highs in the upper 90s by Thursday and Friday of next week.
All right, thanks, Peyton. Coming up after the break, Nicole Fay has a look at sports. Find out why another university's records on KU basketball player Silvio De Sousa were subpoenaed by the FBI.
Roses provide beautiful color from late spring to late fall here in Kansas. Many new varieties are disease and insect resistant, so they're almost maintenance free. Jackson's grows more than 100 varieties and can help you select the perfect roses for your home.
For nearly a decade, the Mattress Hub has given you the best prices on the best brands in sleep. Locally owned, locally operated. Find the largest selection of Tempur-Pedic, Serta, Beautyrest, and more with no interest financing, statewide delivery, and our famous 1-year comfort guarantee. Plus, only at the Mattress Hub do we guarantee the best price or your mattress is free. No gimmicks, no games, best price or it's free. There's no reason to buy your next mattress anywhere else. Let the Mattress Hub change the way you sleep forever.
Follow the cheap sheet to the Mattress Hub.
Only Cox offers the same fast 300 meg speeds everywhere. Which could be why more people choose Cox than any other internet provider. Like Tess, who almost didn't get dinner. She chose Cox high-speed internet starting at $19.99. Call today and join people like Kyle, who just got some bad news. Sorry. And Max, who's holding his book wrong. And Henry, who loses his cool. All of them have Cox high-speed internet starting at $19.99. Call today and ask about panoramic Wi-Fi so you can enjoy wall-to-wall fast speeds, like little Stevie, who's making herself heard.
Oh. Hi. Whoa. Come on in.
Open your door to Cox high-speed internet starting at $19.99. Call today and ask about panoramic Wi-Fi.
I just love going to the downtown farmers market in Topeka. I love the wide variety of products and the friendly atmosphere. The downtown Topeka farmers market.
This is 13 Sports.
The college basketball scandal that started in September of 2017 and rocked Arizona is still rolling. News broke yesterday that the FBI issued 2 subpoenas to the University of Maryland's men's basketball program. The first was back in March and the second one came June 29th. It seeks communication records with a now University of Kansas player, Silvio De Sousa. The June subpoena sought records from January 2015 tied to the recruitment, eligibility, and/or amateur status of De Sousa. Maryland says they have complied with both subpoenas and none of the records show any evidence of violations of applicable laws or NCAA bylaws by the Terrapins Athletic Department. De Sousa has been implicated, though not explicitly named, in court documents related to the probe. It is also unclear how many other schools received subpoenas and whether Kansas is among them. KU Athletics did not respond to our email yesterday for comment. De Sousa joined the Jayhawks in January of 2015 after graduating high school the December before. Now, in April, the FBI released an indictment that alleges an Adidas representative who no longer works for the company arranged for payments to parents of athletes willing to commit to Kansas or North Carolina State. No players are named directly, but specific details reportedly point toward Dennis Smith Jr. and De Sousa. The payments allegedly went towards securing the recruits' commitments and encouraging them to sign an Adidas sponsorship when they entered the NBA. We will have more on that, and we'll keep you updated with that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Get great deals going on now during Menards Priced Right sale. Menards has the blocks you need to create your ideal landscape. Patio pavers in a red and black blend are 5 for $1. New Lakewood retaining wall block is $1.99 each. Choose door locks that complement your home with Kwikset. This Cove entry knob in a bronze finish is $15.99. This Tustin entry lever in a nickel or bronze finish is $37.99 during Menards Priced Right sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Join the party. Become an Eagle Rewards Club member. July 6th through the 28th, it's $25,000 sizzling summer nights. Every Friday and Saturday night, swipe your card at a promo kiosk and get 500 free drawing tickets. Every 15 minutes, starting at 7 p.m., a winner will pick an envelope to determine their cash prize. At 10:30 p.m., someone will win $500 cash each day. $50 K-Cash hot seat drawings every 15 minutes, starting at 10:45 p.m. $25,000 sizzling summer nights. Golden Eagle Casino, 45 minutes north of Topeka.
A native son of Kansas. A soldier.
Deployed to Afghanistan as an airborne Army Ranger.
A leader on the battlefield.
Overseeing nearly 300 people.
A dog musher.
Now he's preparing for the Iditarod.
A mountaineer.
Mount Everest.
And now Steve Watkins is taking on his toughest assignment yet.
Bringing some conservative Kansas values and Army leadership to the politicians on Capitol Hill. I'm Steve Watkins, and I paid for and approve this message.
Want to pay wholesale prices for your new floor? Want to buy like builders and mega contractors? You can now because the floor project's gone wholesale. We've stripped away the middleman markups and thrown out the retail add-ons. So now you can buy new flooring for less than anywhere else. Home centers, other specialty stores, no way. The floor project's gone wholesale, and it's all about saving you money, baby.
You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
The rocket red glare, the bonfire. I'm sorry. What better way to celebrate the 4th of July than to cool down with water?
Well, yeah, I guess.
What's wrong, Dave? What's up?
Herrick, how many times have I got to tell you that's not the way to water? You're spreading fungal diseases. Water the soil, not the plant.
All right, well, let me put this down. Let's talk about watering. It's been in the 90s forever. Things are drying out, so what is the proper way of watering?
The proper way, Eric, is to slowly, deeply water. Put the hose down, let it soak. Once a week is plenty. If we're not getting an inch of rain a week, then you need to be watering at the same proportion.
Check out our corn. It's looking good with the tassels, isn't it?
Yep, about as good as your head's gonna look when you shave it.
Ain't nobody out there remember that conversation, Dave.
Well, let me remind them.
2 years ago and last year, how many ears of corn did we get from our garden?
Well, that would be none, Eric.
That would be none. So that's why I've made the executive decision that we are not planting corn this year.
Tell you what, Eric, we'll plant the corn, and if you get 12 ears of corn from this garden, you're going to shave your head.
Deal. Oh, okay, but you still got to get past the raccoons. So what do we have here, Dave?
Well, this one is to get past the caterpillars. This is an organic spray. It's BT, and you spray that on the silks about every second or third day to keep the worms out.
Okay. And what do we have here?
This, we hope, is going to keep the coons and the deer off of your corn. Plant Skid, new product, all organic, that you'll spray on the ears about every third day.
So we've taken care of the corn for now. What else should we be thinking?
It's time to feed our garden again with the Fertilome Gardener Special. Just sprinkle it around the base of the plant and then water it in after a fact or let the rain carry it in.
And so ends our 4th of July garden segment. Dave, you have a good day. Oh, sorry about the hole in the bucket. Better yet, friends, have a great week and enjoy the garden.
It wasn't my bucket, Eric.
Huh?
Hey, you do Happy 4th of July, everybody!
Was that Reagan that popped up last minute? That was quite funny. Well, we now go from the garden to the table. What used to be a hardware store in Valley Falls has turned into a smokehouse serving barbecue. Juan Cisneros shows us how Old Stewart's store smokehouse went from hardware to silverware.
As far as I know, that's still the original. For 125 years, Stewart's was a local hardware store on Broadway Street in Valley Falls. In 2015, the Heinens purchased the building, and in 2017, they repurposed it into a family restaurant.
My wife and our 5 daughters are all very good cooks. They'd always mentioned that it'd be fun to open up a restaurant here in Valley, and it's been a long time since we've had a good restaurant, you know, a sit-down type restaurant. And anyways, they had always made mention that Stewart's would be the perfect building.
Stewart's All-Store Smokehouse provides customers with in-house smoked meats and homemade side dishes coupled with a rotating dessert menu, all made with recipes that the Heinens use at home.
Almost all of our sides, except for what might be fried, we make in-house. We make our own barbecue sauce, and our desserts are all homemade. We have 2 daughters and another gal that's in charge of our desserts every weekend, and the desserts change every single weekend. They're never the same.
Coming to Stewart's is more than just about the food. The original building was built in 1878, The Heinens aim to preserve the history of Stewart's while providing Valley Falls with a place to enjoy their delicious barbecue.
You see so many small towns, they kind of die out. And I think if a person takes something that already has the history to it, just like Stewart's does, and hold on to that, people can relate to that.
I think it helps bring people in here, people that may have grown up in this town and have moved away, and they can come back in here and still enjoy this building, because otherwise this building probably would have just run down.
Bob says a big part of the history of the building in Valley Falls is in the name.
And we wanted permission to use the Stewart's name because that's where the history lies, is in their name in this building. We could change the name to Heinen's Smokehouse, but everybody would still call this Stewart's.
Stewart's Old Store Smokehouse is open on weekends, and you can find their hours on WIBW.com. The top news stories of the day and your area forecast straight ahead. 13 News Saturday Morning Edition continues right after this.
There's no better place to buy carpet than Carpet One. Right now, we'll install any carpet free. That's free installation on any carpet, any color, any style, any brand. Plus, get measurement, estimate, and delivery free. Carpet 1 room, 3 rooms, a whole house, and get the whole installation package for free. You'll save hundreds of dollars. Get up to 40% off hardwood, laminate, tile, and vinyl floors too. Plus, take 3 years to pay with no interest. It's the free installation sale at Carpet One. We make it beautiful for less.
When I was little, I was fascinated by remote-controlled anything. I would spend hours running that little remote-controlled tractor around. In high school, my career advisor recommended that a 2-year technical program might be the right pathway for me. Today, I have my own company, and we do high-tech ag work. Are my parents proud of me? Yeah, you could say that.
Learning that works for Kansas. Find your place through career and technical education. Kansans can.
The Jasper Shrake Quartet takes the stage at the West Star Pocket Park in downtown Topeka from 11 to 1 on July 11th for the next installment of the 2018 Noontime Brown Bag Concert Series.
Midday in Kansas, weekdays at noon. You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Welcome back. Well, if you're just now waking up, it's looking to be another hot day ahead. Let's send it over to Peyton Sanders for a check on the skies. Hey, Peyton.
Hi, Erica. That's right. More hot weather for the weekend. What's new? It's July, though. We're used to it this time of year. The good news, though, if you have any outdoor plans, the humidity is going to be coming down for both today and tomorrow, just in time for the weekend. So while it will still be a hot day, it's not the oppressive heat like we've been dealing with for the past several days. Here's our Capitol Federal Sky Cam from Menninger Hill, looking out along the Kansas River this morning. It's a bit on the muggy side still, that dew point 69. Anytime you're up near 70, that's muggy. So we're going to be looking at high humidity this morning, but once you get into the afternoon, it will begin to come down. 73 degrees the current temperature in Topeka this morning. We have 72 right now in Marysville. Same thing in Council Grove. 73 the current number in Burlington. Concordia checking in at 71 degrees. The winds this morning light out of the east and southeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll continue with light winds all weekend long. No concern for any gusty winds both today and tomorrow. And along with the hot weather, we do expect dry conditions. Capitol Federal Live Storm Tracker shows no rain on the radar, and we do not expect any thunderstorms through the weekend. A hot and dry weather pattern expected for both today and tomorrow. So in the next couple of hours, 10 a.m., 81 degrees, already in the 80s, and then we'll stay in the 80s for most of the afternoon before high temperatures late this afternoon and into the evening top out into the lower 90s. We'll see if we have any chance for rain in the forecast in the next 8 days. I'll have those details coming up a little bit later.
All right, thanks, Peyton. Beijing has accused Washington of triggering the largest scale trade war in history as the conflict over tariffs between the world's 2 biggest economies sharply escalated. With the Trump administration firing the first official shots, Mola Lenghi is at the White House with an update on the situation.
Tensions are rising between the U.S. and China over trade after President Trump initiated new tariffs. Chinese state media described the Trump administration as, quote, a gang of hoodlums.
Our member companies are very concerned. They're concerned not just about these rounds of tariffs that have going into effect, but the uncertainties surrounding that.
The U.S. slapped levies on $34 billion worth of Chinese goods. That number to increase to $50 billion in the next 2 weeks. China says it had no choice but to strike back, matching those tariffs on U.S. products, adding necessary counterattacks are now in place.
We are in such a great position.
The president touched on the topic at his rally in Montana.
If we knock down the trade deficit, right, the trade deficit by just a little bit, 25%, and we can do that easily. That's easy. If we do that, we pick up 1 point in GDP.
The Trump administration says the tariffs are necessary to stop China from stealing intellectual property and overproducing metals. But Republican lawmakers in the nation's heartland, as well as business leaders, have reservations.
I have yet to find an example where tariffs have worked.
Jeff Schwager runs the Sartori cheese plant in Wisconsin. He says the president's trade moves will cost him millions. And dairy farmer Stacy Lindbergh, who voted for the president, told our Dean Reynolds she has her own concerns.
Do you think he created an issue that wasn't really an issue from your point of view?
Right now, yes, and in hindsight, yes.
The U.S. Chamber of Commerce says retaliatory tariffs threaten about $1 billion worth of Wisconsin's exports.
Kansas farmers fear they'll bear the brunt of those tariffs. Soybeans are the state's #1 export to China. I looked into how those trade disputes could trickle down to the sunflower state.
It's kind of been the story of our life all the time. You know, somebody else making farm decisions, not the farmer.
Longtime farmer Jim Badger says he's been farming soybeans in Carbondale since he was around 10 years old, and he's seen the ups and downs.
They've worked to get this price up over the years, and it's kind of disheartening to them to have it drop 20%.
The American Soybean Association says after months of soybean growers' requests to back away from tariffs on Chinese goods, they've seen prices steadily decline, and now they've been hit with the tariff. ASA says soybean crops represent 41% of the products on China's tariff list, so U.S. farmers are sure to take a hit, as soybeans are our #1 export to the country. Senator Jerry Moran says he agrees with President Trump that steps need to be taken to address China's misconduct, but disagrees tariffs are the best tool to change China's behavior. Tariffs not only hurt our farmers, ranchers, and airplane manufacturers, but they also harm every American consumer. We should be working with our allies to isolate China rather than escalate a trade war. Ultimately, Jim says he's learned to have some faith in the process.
Well, you have to have faith to be a farmer, because some years you don't get anything, and some years you have a bumper crop. But most farmers, when they're old as I am, kind of learn that they need to set a little bit back for the tough years, and they do. But when you're starting and buying machinery and everything, there isn't anything to set back. So it makes it really hard on a young farmer.
Kansas State University agricultural economist Daniel O'Brien says he expects this trade dispute will eventually be settled, possibly by this fall when China will need U.S. soybean supplies. Teams in Thailand are working on 2 different plans to rescue a soccer team trapped in a cave. Time is running out amid concerns about lack of oxygen and more flooding. CBS News' correspondent Chris Martinez has the latest on the rescue from Los Angeles.
This video shows the tough conditions dive teams are dealing with as they work to rescue a soccer team trapped in a flooded cave in Thailand. They're preparing 2 different missions, getting the 12 children and their coach to the cave entrance, or going in from above, drilling down as many as 600 meters. The forecast calls for several days of rain, which means rising floodwater that could prompt a rescue attempt.
Maybe we try because we afraid of the weather and the oxygen in the cave.
The lack of oxygen inside has already claimed 1 victim, a former Thai Navy SEAL diver who died after passing out underwater. This was Sergeant Major Suman Kunan before he boarded a plane to help in the rescue effort. He said, "May good luck be on our side to bring the boys back home." But bringing them home has become increasingly complicated. Teams are using pumps to lower the water level, and they're teaching the group how to dive. But most don't even know how to swim, and this would not be an easy journey. It takes divers 5 hours to reach the team. The 25-year-old coach gave a note to rescuers, which was made public. It offered apologies to the parents of the boys. Chris Martinez, CBS News.
Local kids at lunch took home free books and met a cow Friday afternoon. The Topeka and Shawnee County Library hosted Lunch and Learn on Friday to promote summer learning while also letting kids enjoy a healthy lunch. The children learned the importance of eating healthy by seeing how cows get milked. They got to watch in the parking lot. The library says for every week a child isn't reading, that's a week they're behind when school starts.
We want to give them fun summer learning activities, but we also want to give them some fun books to be able to read, because you can read a comic, you can read a novel, you can read nonfiction, you can read a newspaper. So we don't really care what people are reading. We just want kids to keep reading, because then it'll make it easier when they go back to school in August.
Topeka Public Schools, Shawnee County Parks and Rec, Southwest Dairy Farmers, and Harvesters helped make this event happen. Coming up next, a paramedic who was losing his passion for the job suddenly found the spark that made him love his life. Suddenly found the spark made him love his life-saving job again. His story next in Salute the Badge.
Hi, my name is Terry with Midwest Cremation Society. Let us help you celebrate the life of your loved one when your choice is cremation. Midwest Cremation Society offers the exact same services for cremation that traditional funeral homes provide at half the cost.
Don't add a financial burden to an emotional burden. Call 785-249-6815.
Let me serve your cremation needs. Midwest Cremation Society, my family serving yours.
Chicken tacos, rice, and a side of Invista black beans. Earn double rewards year-round on groceries and gas. Invista Black, everything. Invista Black Belt. Kick up the rewards and break away from annual fees. Invista Black, everything.
At Midland Exteriors, we not only sell and install siding, but we can help guide you through the entire process.
It's a great time of year to think about improving your home. Midland Exteriors is here to help. Now through the end of the month, get $1,000 off all siding projects that qualify.
To request your free estimate, go to midlandexteriors.com. Transform your home with the comfort and knowledge that you need. Midland Exteriors, love the home you live in.
You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
A paramedic working for an emergency medical service in Northeast Kansas was ready to give up. But 13's Cecilia Jenkins shows us how this paramedic got his passion back and gained some new friends along the way.
His 24-hour shift begins with a thorough 1-hour inspection of his ambulance.
These are our medical bags. Do it so long you remember how much you have of everything.
For 23 years, Jason Belanger has been a paramedic, working in the 911 system, doing what he loved to do best.
There's no other greater feeling than that in the world, knowing that you've done something that, you know, either you saved somebody's life or brought a life into the world.
But somewhere along the way, the love for the job slowly faded.
There's times when these calls can turn sour really quick depending on what's going on.
Treating victims that reminded him of his 14-year-old son started to take away his passion.
When it gets to that point, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah. Until 5 months ago, when a new opportunity working in the transfer division changed his perspective.
Best decision I ever made. It's been a blast. It's been fun.
He now drives back and forth, transferring veterans for the VA hospitals in Topeka and Leavenworth.
I've had, some really young, maybe in their late 20s, all the way up to guys that were in Vietnam and some that were in Korea.
And during his rides, he finds himself engaging in conversations that not only help them, but himself as well.
A lot of things our eyes have seen that our minds will never forget. So, and they're the same way. They see that stuff in the combat.
And he's made some friends along the way.
It's like they trust you enough to tell you those intimate things that only those guys kind of share.
Now he's back to doing what he does best, taking care of other people.
If it's just holding their hand and talking like this VA guy, just talking to them, that might be the best thing that they had part of their day. That might have been the best part of their day, is having somebody that can just talk to them.
Cecilia Jenkins with photojournalist Doug Brown, 13 News.
The EMS service began offering transferring services to veterans February of this year, and they've already transferred more than 500 people. We'll check weekend weather as 13 News Saturday edition continues after this.
Governor Jeff Collier standing strong for Kansas values, opposing in-state tuition for illegal immigrants while supporting law enforcement and border security, growing our economy and fighting tax increases. Endorsed by the Kansas Farm Bureau and committed to improving Kansas schools. With an A rating from the NRA and protecting the precious right to life, a leader we can count on. Call Governor Jeff Collier. Thank him for standing up for Kansas values.
345,000 Kansans care for a parent, spouse, friend, or other loved one, helping them live independently at home. Now, a new law called the Kansas Lake Caregiver Act supports these family caregivers when they enter the hospital and transition home. Loved ones can now designate a caregiver to be notified when they're discharged from the hospital, and hospitals must provide instructions of the aftercare tasks caregivers will perform at home. To learn more, visit WIBW.com/caregiver, sponsored by AARP Kansas.
Community mental health centers have individual therapy, couples therapy. They also have medication management services for those individuals that may need that.
Mental health is about emotional health and brain health.
Healthy children and families, and a healthy Kansas.
Contact a community mental health center if you
or someone you know needs help,
counseling,
or other support services.
Go to acmhck.org to find your local community mental health center.
It's held over. Nebraska Furniture Mart's huge holiday event. Saturday, get a free $10 coupon while they last. Plus, pay 55 cents on the dollar on all furniture, carpet, and area rugs. Plus, get an additional 11% off the tag price. Save up to $550 instantly on select NFM Plus appliance bundles. 10% off NFM Plus TVs and audio. Plus 30-month financing. One huge store, one huge celebration, one last chance for a huge savings. It's the final weekend at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
This is your 13 weather forecast with Peyton Sanders.
Thanks for staying with us here on this Saturday morning. Some changes on the way for the weekend. Lower humidity, but the heat's going to be staying with us. We'll have highs in the 90s for both today and tomorrow. But through the morning hours, for the next couple of hours at least, temperatures staying in the 70s, 78 degrees next hour at 9 o'clock. We'll make it into the 80s starting at 10, and it will climb close to 90 as we move on into the afternoon. The big story to today's forecast, lower humidity. That is going to feel a whole lot nicer. We're not going to be talking about triple-digit heat index values this afternoon. In fact, here's the combination of the heat and the humidity this afternoon. Most places not as oppressive on the heat as what we've been dealing with for the past several days. Feeling like 90 degrees in Topeka by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Only 88 in Lawrence this afternoon, feeling like 93 in Manhattan. So overall, it'll still be a fairly hot day, but it's just not the extreme heat like we've been dealing with for most of the past week. Continuing with dry conditions too. Lots of blue sky. Our downtown sky cam at the top of the Jayhawk Tower in Topeka right now, 73 degrees. The dew point 69. That's the measure of the moisture in the air. If you're going to be out and about through the next couple of hours this morning, it is a touch humid, but overall that humidity will be coming down once we get into the afternoon. We have 77 degrees for the current temperature in Melbourne, 74 right now in Holden. Same thing in Manhattan. Clay Center warming up to 76 degrees here at the 8 o'clock hour. Where all is dry across northeast Kansas, and it's pretty dry across most of the country. You can see some rain across the Gulf Coast, the northwest sections of the U.S., and out into the desert southwest as well. But we're going to be looking at dry conditions continuing across the Central Plains, all due to a weather pattern that is very typical of July. It's a pretty boring weather pattern, so that's good if you have any outdoor plans, because we're not talking about any thunderstorms, but we could definitely use the rain. Big area of high pressure covering much of the plains. All of the cooler air is locked up all the way up into Canada. We're going to be continuing with this weather pattern through much of the next several days. The entire weekend and all of next week, this area of high pressure, it stays planted right over the Central Plains. That means an extended period of hot and dry weather too. We do not have any chance for rain in the 8-day forecast, so get ready. Dry conditions expected for much of the next several days. And that lower humidity that we're dealing with today, due to easterly winds that we have, that'll stick with us today and tomorrow. Unfortunately, what's good will not last very long. South winds return heading into next week, and that means higher humidity on the way. And you combine that with temperatures back in the mid and upper 90s, heat index values for next work week back in the triple digits. So enjoy that lower humidity this weekend. It is going to be noticeably nicer as we move on through today and tomorrow. Dry conditions expected out in Kansas City too if you're heading out for the Royals game this evening. 6:15 first pitch, 87 degrees at 6 o'clock. Lots of sunshine, dry conditions expected. Again, with the lower humidity, you're going to be feeling pretty comfortable out there. You're heading out to Kansas City. And high temperatures this afternoon, mostly in the 90s. A few places will likely stay in the 80s this afternoon, mainly in the eastern sections of our area. 89 degrees today in Burlington, same thing in Hiawatha. We'll top out around 90 degrees in Topeka with 93 degrees in Clay Center this afternoon. Overnight tonight, the air conditioners can probably catch a break. Check out these low temperatures that we expect overnight. Some places in the 50s, most spots lower 60s. Again, with lower humidity, clear skies, and light winds, it'll be pretty comfortable as we move on through the overnight hours. Low humidity once again for your Sunday, 92 degrees, but unfortunately, as that humidity returns along with the heat index values again in the triple digits, just in time for Fiesta Mexicana from Tuesday through Friday of this week. Should be dry but hot with highs in the upper 90s. Stay tuned. Nicole is back with a check of your sports when we come back.
CBS Wednesday. Could you survive the 4 combat zones of TKO?
Zone 1, the ball blaster.
Firing balls at 60 miles per hour.
Zone 2, the frisboom.
Can rip your head off like a ripsaw.
Zone 3, the spike launcher.
Ready to drop in on you like a mother-in-law.
Zone 4, the slammer.
Ready to squash you like a bug on a windshield.
The most extreme television competition ever.
Ooh!
TKO premieres CBS Wednesday.
There's no better place to buy carpet than Carpet One. Right now, we'll install any carpet free. That's free installation on any carpet, any color, any style, any brand. Plus, get measurement, estimate, and delivery free. Carpet 1 room, 3 rooms, a whole house, and get the whole installation package for free. You'll save hundreds of dollars. Get up to 40% off hardwood, laminate, tile, and vinyl floors too. Plus, take 3 years to pay with no interest. It's the free installation sale at Carpet One. We make it beautiful for less.
For 5 days only, it's Lebanon Mattress Factory's Independence Day sale. Save now on mattress sets, latex and memory foam beds, adjustable beds with power bases, nearly everything in the store. Flippable pillow plush Lebanon queen sets now only $5.99 with free delivery and a free bed frame. Experience the future of sleep technology with Lebanon's exclusive Z2 True Hybrid. Save an extra $400 on memory foam beds, like the Lepopedic queen set now only $7.99. Plus, take up to 4 years to pay with no interest at Lebanon's Independence Day sale. 5 days only. Hurry in today.
Only Cox offers the same fast 300 meg speeds everywhere. Which could be why more people choose Cox than any other internet provider. Like Tess, who almost didn't get dinner. She chose Cox high-speed internet starting at $19.99. Call today and join people like Kyle, who just got some bad news. Sorry. And Max, who's holding his book wrong. And Henry, who loses his cool. All of them have Cox high-speed internet starting at $19.99. Call today and ask about panoramic Wi-Fi so you can enjoy wall-to-wall fast speeds, like little Stevie, who's making herself heard.
Hi. Whoa. Come on in.
Open your door to Cox high-speed internet starting at $19.99. Call today and ask about panoramic Wi-Fi.
This is 13 Sports.
The college basketball scandal that started in September of 2017 and rocked Arizona is still rolling. News broke yesterday that the FBI issued 2 subpoenas to the University of Maryland's men's basketball program. The first was back in March and the second one came June 29th. It seeks communication records with a now University of Kansas player, Silvio De Sousa. The June subpoena sought records from January 2015 tied to the recruitment, eligibility, and/or amateur status of De Sousa. Maryland says they have complied with both subpoenas and none of the records show any evidence of violations of applicable laws or NCAA bylaws by the Terrapins Athletic Department. De Sousa has been implicated, though not explicitly named, in court documents related to the probe. It is also unclear how many other schools received subpoenas and whether Kansas is among them. KU Athletics did not respond to our email yesterday for comment. De Sousa joined the Jayhawks in January of 2015 after graduating high school the December before.
Now, in April, the FBI released an indictment that alleges an Adidas representative who no longer works for the company arranged for payments to parents of athletes willing to commit to Kansas or North Carolina State. No players are named directly, but specific details reportedly point toward Dennis Smith Jr. and D'Souza. The payments allegedly went towards securing the recruits' commitments and encouraging them to sign an Adidas sponsorship when they entered the NBA. We will have more on that, and we'll keep you updated with that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Do you have a new driver in the house, sending a new college student off, or is it a time for an upgrade? Buying a new car can be made less stressful if you start at AAA.com/autobuying. You can select makes, models, and options, compare different vehicles, learn about available incentives, check crash safety ratings, read AAA reviews, view picture galleries, and more. Learn what others paid with a TrueCar price report with national, regional, and local data. TrueCar reveals what others have paid for cars with the same features, so you know if you're getting a good deal. Once you've got the one in mind, request dealer pricing, select the pre-screened dealer you want to work with, and you'll get a price and your guaranteed savings. Once you have your new car all picked out, AAA can help you get a car loan the easy way with some of the best rates around. So start your new car search by visiting AAA.com/autobuying today. If you're not already a AAA member, you can join with a special rate using the code SAFETY.
Get great deals going on now during Menards Priced Right sale. Get unbeatable quality and satisfaction guaranteed with Cabot Premium Exterior Wood Stains and Finishes. Cabot stains provide lasting protection for any exterior wood surface. Save $10 a gallon after rebate, including 5-gallon pails. Keep your yard looking great with help from Black & Decker. This trimmer includes 2 batteries and charger. $89 during Menards Priced Right sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome the newest member of our X family of games, the Kansas Lottery Multiplier Super Ticket. Score cash and multiply your bundle of joy up to $250,000.
You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Another hot day today, but the humidity will remain low. Highs in the low to mid 90s this afternoon with lots of sunshine, dry conditions expected. Here's the 8-day forecast, 92 tomorrow, so hot weather all weekend long. It gets even hotter next week, though. The humidity returns with highs back in the upper 90s. So enjoy today and tomorrow. Yeah, next weekend, not fun.
No. Oh, well, that's all for us this morning. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.
Get the latest news, weather, and sports at WIBW.com or follow WIBW on Twitter, Facebook, and our mobile app. Thank you for making 13 News the most watched weekend newscast.
Well, look at you, the boss of an entire company. You hire people and you get to promote them when they do a good job. You might even be asking yourself, how did I get to be so smart? Maybe it's because you use the Kansas Works Workforce Center on-the-job training program. They find the talent and cover 50% of your training costs. How smart are you now? Smart enough to bring donuts on Fridays?
Call the Kansas Works Workforce Center about the on-the-job training program.
With Cable One high-speed internet, there are no limits to what you can do, thanks to our unlimited data plans. Get 100 megs at $45 a month for a whole year, plus free installation. Just call 855-CABLE-1. Unlimited streaming, gaming, and surfing. You get it all. Plus reliable whole-home Wi-Fi coverage. 100 megs with unlimited data. $45 a month for a whole year. Call 855-CABLE-1 now.
For nearly a decade, the Mattress Hub has given you the best prices on the best brands in sleep. Locally owned, locally operated. Find the largest selection of Tempur-Pedic, Serta, Beautyrest, and more with no interest financing, statewide delivery, and our famous 1-year comfort guarantee. Plus, only at the Mattress Hub do we guarantee the best price or your mattress is free. No gimmicks, no games, best price or it's free. There's no reason to buy your next mattress anywhere else. Let the Mattress Hub change the way you sleep forever.
Follow the cheap sheet to the Mattress Hub.
At Kevin Brennan Family Funeral Home, we treat people the way they want to be treated, the way they deserve to be treated, and the way we would want to be treated if we were in their position. Kevin wrote our mission statement before we ever opened our doors, and it's still true to this day. For that very reason, families served refer to us as the angels on the hill. In your time of need, allow us the privilege of caring for your family. Kevin Brennan Family Funeral Home, 29th and Urish Road.
Get ready for the party. Fiesta Mexicana is 3 days away.
You're watching CBS. When you see this symbol, you know you're watching a show that's educational and informational. The CBS Dream Team. It's epic.
Today on Lucky Dog, a poodle mix puppy will need to learn all the basics.
Nope, that's not gonna work. When we first begin, Scout is jumping around, out of control, and it's a complete disaster.
He'll form an inseparable bond.
Scout's learning through Thumper's lead exactly what to do.
And discover there's a big world out there waiting for him.
I'm a breast cancer survivor. I was given a second chance, and now he's got his second chance in my family. Hey.
I'm Brandon McMillan, and I've dedicated my life to saving the lonely, unwanted dogs that are living without hope. My mission is to make sure these amazing animals find a purpose, a family, and a place to call home. Today, one dog will be saved, and one family will have a new best friend. This is Lucky Dog.
Presented by Cosequin Joint Health Supplements.
Okay, first things first with the heel. See this right here? Now I got her attention, okay? Now I'm gonna get her to heel. Look at the leash. Every time she jumps for it, I pull it away. Heel, heel, heel. Look at the leash now, good, good, heel.
Today, Brandon is in Lancaster, South Carolina.
Heel.
Giving a training demonstration at the headquarters of sponsor and pet supplement manufacturer, Nutramax Laboratories Veterinary Sciences.
Heel, good, good. Try that.
During a break, Brandon tours the factory.
Hey, welcome. Hi, thank you. Hey, how you doing?
Meeting several workers and fans along the way.
How are you? How are you, Brandon? Everyone smile.
As he wraps up his day, he meets one employee who is interested in more than an autograph.
We just lost our family dog, and so I've been looking for a rescue. Any advice?
What kind of dog you look for?
We travel a good bit, so maybe something smaller.
I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to be back out here next week. So
Okay.
we can talk more about it. Do you have a card?
I do.
All right, I'll call you up and we can talk about it more.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Nice
Good
to meet
meeting
you. All right. Thank you.
On the way out to catch his flight, Brandon receives an urgent text about a puppy. Back in Los Angeles, Brandon heads to the shelter.
I got a text from the shelter, and they say they have what appears to be a poodle mix. He's very young. They say he's probably between 10 and 12 weeks old. And he was surrendered by his previous family to the shelter for one of the most ridiculous reasons I've ever heard. He had fleas. That was it. Anybody who knows a thing or two about dogs knows that you can get rid of fleas with a simple flea bath. But regardless of the reason he was surrendered, the dog is now stuck behind bars in the shelter. So I'm gonna get down there and see what I can do with this little guy.
Hey, is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Yeah, it is. I recognize you.
Only 10 weeks old, Scout is scared to be in the shelter
Let me in.
and jumps at the chance to take refuge in Brandon's arms.
No age is the right age to be in here, but you're too young. I can tell you're terrified. How about you and me? Go for a little drive. You're gonna like where you're going, trust me.
Because puppies are more susceptible to illnesses, Brandon takes Scout to the veterinarian to make sure he has a clean bill of health.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
Hey, Brian, I'm good.
This is Scout. He's here to see Dr. Nardi.
Awesome. She'll meet you in room 1.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, Dr. Nardi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing Doing well.
Hi.
Say hi, Scout. So the shelter did treat him for the fleas, but I want you to just do a double check to make sure he has none.
Of course.
And also do an examination on him. He's a puppy. Let's make sure he's healthy.
Sure. I'm gonna look through his entire coat here. I don't see any debris, which is good. It'd be real easy to see him in this white hair. I don't see any flea dirt. Yeah, I think he looks very good. I definitely want to get him on a flea and tick preventive.
Okay.